Amount of popcorn. That's whatever. Let's start the video. What's up, guys? Your boy the Overlord here. Back with another video for you. Back with another best to worst. Today we'll be doing another video or another series, I should say, of movies that like really touched me as a kid. Some ones I watched over and over again. Never got bored of them. This is going to be on the Neverending Story. I don't know how many of you have actually watched Neverending Story. If you haven't, definitely go check it out. If this video helps you to discover something new, let me know. If not, tell me which one is your favorite Neverending Story movie. Also, tell me what your favorite moments are in the movies or stuff like that. Or if you have any suggestions for me for series, let me know in the comments below. Definitely like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started. So this will come in at #1. Obviously, the first movie. Definitely the best one in my opinion. You get kind of a younger, I think about 12 years old or so, Bastion Bucks, and right after his mother's died. He's kind of like a lonely kid. He gets bullied a lot. He reads a lot of books, whatever. And these kids kind of chase him into a bookstore, and he discovers his book. And the librarian is like, no, you can't read that book, and then he kind of like tricks him into taking it in a way. I don't know. There's kind of a whole moral thing with that, the little dilemma. He kind of tricks him into taking the book, and he goes to class. He's going to class, but then there's like a math test, so he decides to skip the math test and like go into like the attic of the school. I don't really understand why that was. Anyway, whatever. So he decides to hide in the attic of the school. There's a huge storm, so he's like reading this book, really intense, whatever. Luckily, he brought his lunch that day, or he'd have been hungry for the entire day. But you get the story where there's a nothingness coming on upon the land, and they're trying to figure out what this nothingness is, like what's really going on. You get introduced to a character named Atreyu, who I should met somebody named Atreyu, and like he's probably the only one besides me with my real name who has more people like, oh, I really like your name, and like he has to hear that 1,000 times a day, But you get Atreyu and Artax. It was Atreyu's horse, and if you say you didn't tear up in the swamp where Artax starts to like sink into the swamp of sadness or whatever it's called. That's probably what it's called. And Atreyu's like yelling for him, screaming for him to come on, and then like it like comes back, and Artax is gone, and Atreyu's just there sad. If you didn't cry at that scene, you either A, lying to me, or B, heartless. Because that was like one of the saddest things that happened in my childhood that I remember as far as like movie wise. The second was like the birth of my sister. But that was a crazy moment, and then I was just remember like, what happened to the horse? Where'd the horse go? I was pretty sure they had a horse before. What happened to him? And then you get introduced to Falcor, Luck Dragon, which how cool would that be to have a flying Luck Dragon? Like, come on now, that's pretty dope. You get there's that scene where they have like the oracles, whatever, and like have like walk through it, and like he makes the first one, and then like makes the first gate barely, and then the second one he has to like confront himself, and then like he sees Bastion in there instead of like it being himself, and like scares whatever, and then you get the childlike Empress, which, man, I had a big crush on the childlike Empress growing up, like a huge crush. You get Deep Roy, who is well, that's not his name in the movie, but he Lumba's in the remake of Willy Wonka, and he plays a guy named Teeny Weeny or something like that, and he has like a racing snail. And then you get the rock biters and stuff like that. You just find out in the movie that the nothingness is actually kids' imaginations being like not there anymore. Like they don't care about these stories. They don't care about books or to read or whatever. They just care about comic books or video games or whatever. They've stopped having imagination, stopped having adventures in there, and that's a great message. I felt like definitely my all-time favorite. Coming number 2, It's the second movie, where we have a little older Bastion, and for some reason he's like a swimmer, but like afraid to swim. He's afraid to like dive off a diving board or whatever it is. Uh, and his dad, who was played by uh, the original Barry Allen, Flash in the TV series. Uh, he's trying to get Bastion back into swimming, back into school, whatever, and Bastion kind of like whatever. And so um, the childlike empress needs him to come back to Fantasia to help, with the issue that they're having or whatever, and go because there's like a new villain, and so he gets there, he ends up getting tricked. And then when he gets him tricked, he ends up getting tricked into making a bunch of wishes. And then every time he makes a wish, he loses his memory. And so there's a new villain who's trying to like take over the fact that he's able to make these wishes and trying to get the Orin, the necklace that he has. And so just trying to make him have all these wishes and forget about his mom, and forget about his dad, and going back home. And so it's a cool little adventure. It's fun, but it's not. I feel like it's not. It wasn't as good of a story as the first one was. And then you do have a little scene where Atreyu has like these little warriors inside these eggs, and they're like little toys, and like he like sets them up to take down to take over the castle, whatever, take down the castle, and it actually works somehow. With these little bitty micro machines or whatever. But it was a good time. It also introduced to a few of the new characters. Not really all that memorable. I mean, they're cool, but they're not nothing big. And then you have number 3, which, from what I can remember, is like one of the first movies I ever saw Jack Black in. Obviously, that one came out like in '94. That's one of the first movies I remember seeing Jack Black in. And this one, you have the kid who was in Free Willy as Bastion, and his dad gets remarried, and his dad gets remarried because of stepsister, and so he has Orn with him, and his stepsister finds it. She starts making all these selfish wishes, and if you remember from the first movie, every time he made a wish or had an adventure, the fuller Fantasia became, the more beautiful it would become because of his wishes and his adventures and stuff like that. And so, but his adventures were never really selfish. So his stepsister starts making like selfish wishes, like she wishes that she had a credit card, or she wishes that she could go on a shopping spree. She wishes she could have this and that, all really selfish things, and not really things that would be interesting for other people or something like that. And so Fantasia becomes real spoiled, and the childlike empress becomes a brat, and then Jack Black's character is like a leader of this gang, and he's like he ends up snatching the Orin from Bastion's stepsister, and he starts making horrible wishes and stuff like that, and horrible for PG-13 or whatever it was. Start making these really bad wishes, and then Fantasia goes to a dark place. This one was probably the weirdest one that I remember watching, because they kind of went back and forth between Fantasia and Earth in a different way. From what I remember, I don't remember Bastion really going to Fantasia for too long before having to come back, and then you also got like really cheap impressions of like former characters like Falcor, the Luck Dragon looked really weird. Even the Luck Dragon, the Rock Biters look weird, like the way they changed them up, and then some of them end up coming to Earth, and they had to like try to get the Orm back. And coming to Earth to get Orin back and stuff like that, and so the worlds were kind of like merging and colliding in a weird way, and then to be honest, I don't remember how they got it back from Jack Black in the group. I just remember that they got it back, and then like they like make a wish, and then like his group end up becoming like nerds, or like high achievers now, like wearing like glasses and like real nerdy or whatever, but. That was the kind of I think to be honest, I think I've only watched like once or twice, ever. Like it came out in '94. I think I actually watched it like once or twice. So it really didn't stick to me the way that the original or even the second one did. Like I could watch the second one, and have a good time with it, but I can like sit down like really watch the first one and then really enjoy it. Um, there was also, from what I mean, looking into the movies and the dates and stuff. There's one that came out. There's a TV movie, Tales of the Neverending Story, that came out in like 2001. I didn't know about it until today. I was today years old when I found out that movie actually existed. So I never saw it. I might try to look it up and maybe place it, but as of right now, it's fourth. But let me know what your favorite Neverending Story movie was, or your favorite moments. I was at a TV show going back in the day. I didn't really watch much of the TV show either, but if you did watch the TV show, let me know some of your favorite episodes. I might try to look those up and check them out. Other than that, it's been your boy the Overlord. I'm out.